This is Chatting with Brother Cobb. Here lately I've been having this vision, and it's the downfall of the mega church. Uh, Mega churches are the thing now. They have members of 30,000 and up, and the preacher most time is very rich, mostly getting rich off of these tithes and offerings. They build big auditoriums, and some even buy formal basketball stadiums for their churches. And they make millions of dollars every week. And mainly these big churches are always, mega churches are always in a poor black neighborhood. You never hardly see them in a rich neighborhood. Pastor don't even know your name. I go to church, pastor know my name. But you go to these mega churches, you just face that the pastor might recognize. The only people that really, the pastor really pastors are the 1%. They have his number. I'm talking about them rich saints. One always sit on the front row where you can't sit. You can't sit up there with them, you know. It's like what the Bible says that, you know, poor folks, you sit at my feet while the rich people get the best seat in the house. That's what I'm talking about. I was listening one time where Kurt Franklin was talking, and he was going through in his marriage or something like that, and so he called his pastor, which was Bishop Blake, and talked to him. Now, if you're not rich and famous, you cannot call your pastor if you are going to a mega church. Only the elite can call the pastor, not you. You got to go through channels just to go talk to the pastor. You got to go through a lot of stuff because you're just nobody. When I was growing up in church, my pastor told us that everybody is somebody. Somebody, you know. And as I got grown, I realized that might have been so at his church, but at these mega churches, it's not so. But I've been having a dream of a big downfall of the mega church. It might have been a vision. And I don't believe God is happy with what's going on in the mega church or what's going on in the church today. It reminded me of the time when he went. The mega church is not really a new thing. And they had the mega church in Jesus' time, you know. The temple in Israel was a mega church. The Sanhedrin, that ran the church, the sons of Levi, some was Sadducees, some was Pharisees. They all was of the tribe of, you know, I can't forget what they was all Levites. And they ran the church. The high priest was a Levite, and they was all rich. When you think about the pools that was around in Israel, them was man-made swimming pools that, you know, what a blind man was going to. Them was man-made pools. They were, you know, and they was rich. They was all rich, you know, because the people gave 10% of what they had of their livestock, their grain and their food and everything. And these priests was rich. They wanted for nothing. Living in their fine houses and stuff. But see, you had the synagogues that was like the regular church for the poor folks, and they had rabbis as leaders. And Jesus' lawful title at that time when he was a rabbi. And he always, what we call now, throwing shade to the Sadducees and Pharisees, calling them hypocrites. And they wanted to kill him. And they eventually, did. Jesus in the flesh, he said, not, let this bitter cup pass before me. But then he came to himself in his spiritual side and said, not my will, but your will be done. And he gave up the ghost. But today, I ain't saying this. What I'm saying is, I think God is really getting tired of these preachers making their heaven down here on earth. Where your treasure at? The Bible talks about your treasure. If you make it to heaven, it says you're gonna your reward is gonna be greater if you make heaven your goal. Your reward is, some of these preachers, these rich mega churches, their reward is down here. They already got their reward. Their riches, their fancy cars, their billion dollar houses and stuff. They got their reward. But everybody else in the congregation is living paycheck by paycheck. And I believe that what my point is, that these folks are going to come to themselves. A lot of these mega churches have a lot of black folks going there. One thing about black folks that I know is our biggest success stories in the black community is the church. We gonna support the church. Your biggest mega churches are mostly in the black neighborhood. Most of them are black pastors and making millions of dollars. And it's in the white community too, but nobody supports church like the black folks. And I believe that a lot of black folks are coming to themselves. And a lot of black folks leave these mega churches, they're gonna be in trouble. And when these preachers start losing money, they're gonna be in trouble. When they're not making $1 million a week, all that tax-free money, they're gonna be in trouble. And it's gonna be a sad situation. A lot of them going to say, we're living in the end times. Jesus said that it was gonna be a great falling away, because a lot of folks are leaving the mega church. That's not the case. It's gonna happen. The word of God is true. It's gonna happen. It's gonna be a great falling away. But first, natural, then spiritual. It's gonna be a great falling away from these mega churches. A lot of it is coming from the black conscious community. They're getting stronger and stronger every day. These Hotep folks and these Nation of Islam folks, they're getting the ear to a lot of these church going folks. And it's really the church's own fault. First of all, they ain't preaching the word of God right. There, the word of God is like a double-edged sword. It cuts both ways. It's gonna it's gonna cut me if I'm doing wrong. It's gonna cut you too. And the gospel that they're preaching in these churches, mega churches, are what we used to call, the Bible says, is itching ear. The gospel that makes you feel good. Makes you happy. Oh, you gonna get your blessings. That's all they preach is about financial blessing. They ain't preaching nothing that's gonna feed your soul. They so concerned about feeding your natural flesh and tickling your natural flesh, but not doing nothing for your soul. Your flesh is full and happy, but your soul is starving to death. And that's what happened. That's what's going to cause the major falling away of these mega churches, because their soul is not fed. And it's very sad. Downfall of the mega churches is going to go from 30,000 folks to about 10% of that, 3,000. And then might go 10% of that, 300 folks in these big old buildings. You can't make money like that. So this is just a warning to these mega churches. Get ready. It's all on social media how, and especially these black conscious group, of how they're really talking about the black church, the mega church, and how these preachers are getting rich while you up there working paycheck to paycheck, giving all your money to these mega churches, and when you in need, they are nowhere around. When you want to have your funeral there, when you passed away, they'll tell you to go back to the church you came from, that same little small church you left. They'll tell your family to take you back, or they'll put you in one of them little small rooms that's in the mega church for your funeral. Only people who have the funeral in these big old mega churches are the rich elite, the 1%, the famous folks. So, and that's still out like in that Bible verse. The rich folks get the best seat in the house while you sitting on the floor, the back seat. Usher ain't even gonna put you in the front row, cause you nobody. I just want everybody to know, God ain't changed. His word is true. It's gonna be a great downfall of the mega church, not only here in America, but worldwide. And this is Chatting with Brother Carl. Y'all have a blessed day.